Let us proceed with the next problem. Sketch the complete root locus of the system having g of s into h of s equal to k divided by s into s plus 1, s plus 2, s plus 3. So open loop transfer function is given. We need to draw a root locus. First, check how many roots are present in the given transfer function. So in the numerator function there is no s, so there is no roots. So 0 roots are present in the numerator function. So total number of roots are 0. That is, the roots obtained from the numerator function is 0. There are no roots from the numerator function. So total number of zeros will be 0 itself. Next, the roots obtained from the denominator function. So how many roots you can obtain from this denominator function? S equal to 0, s equal to minus 1, s equal to minus 2, s equal to minus 3. There are 4 roots from the denominator function. So the roots obtained from the denominator function are called as poles. So total number of poles are 4. And which are the poles or which are the roots? 0, minus 1, minus 2 and minus 3. And you can plot these roots in the S-plane. 0, minus 1, minus 2 and minus 3. All the poles should be represented by X mark. So like this. You need to locate all the poles in the S-plane. There are no zeros, so no need to locate zeros on the S-plane. Next step is also the poles are always the originating point, and that is starting point, and zeros are ending points. So there are 4 poles here. So this pole is at 0 and it is the originating point, means the arrow should indicate outwards. So it is starting from 0, ending at somewhere else. And here also another pole is at minus 1 and it is going from the minus 1 pole. So starting point is this pole. And here also that third pole is at minus 2. It is going outwards. Minus 3 also it's going outwards. And you may get a question like why this pole is moving towards 0, not towards minus 2. So you'll get to know that why that direction is like that. Second point is breakaway point should exist between 0 and minus 1 and minus 2 and minus 3. Why? Because here both the poles are moving towards the midpoint. That is 0 is moving towards minus 1, minus 1 is moving towards 0. So somewhere they are going to meet at some point, and they'll meet at some point and they'll be diverged to different directions in order to make those branches as infinite. So those points, that meeting point or intersection point of any two poles or poles are called as breakaway points. So in between 0 and minus 1, a point must be there, and between minus 2 and minus 3 either point should be there. So the breakaway point must be valid if they are present between 0 and minus 1 and minus 2 and minus 3. Next, third point is total number of branches of root locus. For this given transfer function, how many number of branches of root locus you will be getting? After plotting the complete root locus, how many branches you will get? So that is obtained from this, that is which is the maximum number compared to poles and zeros. Here the number of poles are 4, number of zeros are 0. So poles are greater than zeros. So we can conclude that the total number of branches of root locus is equal to P, that is equal to 4. Fourth step is you need to identify which is the root locus branch on the real axis. Real axis is x-axis. So on the x-axis you need to identify some branches of root locus is present between which coordinates, that you need to find out. So how we are going to find it out? So if I consider one random point here, some random point. So between 0 and minus 1 I will be considering minus 0.5. Just for example. So if I consider one random point here, to the right side of this random point, count the number of zeros and poles. Only one pole is there, so that is an odd number. If in the total number of zeros and poles are odd, then we can consider that particular branch between 0 and pole or pole to pole, anything. So between any roots, so complete branch is called as root locus branch. And consider one point between -1 and -2, that is a random point. To the right side of this point, count the number of zeros and poles. There are two number of poles are there to the right side of this random point. So if 2 is not a odd number, so you should not consider the complete branch as a root locus, so it is a non-root locus. And here you got a question like why this pole is moving towards 0, why not towards -2? Because this is a root locus branch. You are getting the root locus branch between 0 and -1. And if if you want to move this pole at -1 towards -2, so there should be a root locus branch between -1 and -2, but it is not. It is a non-root locus. So this pole is moving towards the 0 because the root locus branch is between 0 and -1 only. So always the plot of root locus must be on root locus itself. So that is a part of complete plot. This single branch is a part of complete root locus plot. And also next, if you can consider a random point here also. If you consider a point that is -2.5, so to the right side of this point, count the number of zeros and poles. There are 3 poles are there. 3 is an odd number, so you can call this complete branch between these 2 poles as a root locus. After this, if you consider a point here, so there will be a 4 poles on the real axis. So you can't consider the complete branch until infinity as a root locus. That is also a non-root locus. Next, fifth point is number of asymptotes. In the root locus point, there will be many branches. So few branches may be finite, few branches may be infinite. So in order to find out the total number of infinite branches, that is asymptotes are nothing but infinite branches. How many number of asymptotes are in this problem? So that is p minus z, number of poles minus number of zeros. 4 minus 0 is 4. Total 4 number of infinite branches are present here. Next, angle of asymptotes. So you got to know that the total number of infinite branches are 4, but those branches are moving in which direction, that we need to find out. So the direction can be obtained from these angle of asymptotes. These angles gives the direction of those infinite branches of the root locus. So this is the equation to find out the angle of asymptotes, that is the direction. Theta equal to 2q plus 1 into 180 divided by p minus z. P minus z is 4 minus 0, that is 4. Q can be substituted. If it is 4, 0, 1, 2, 3. 4 values we need to substitute here in order to get the angle value. So 45 degree, 135 degree, 225 degree, 315 degree. These are the directions of infinite branches. So we'll be having 4 infinite branches that are in the direction of these angles. And you got all the 4 directions, but at some point they need to meet. So in the starting point of these asymptotes, all the branches are going to meet at some point. So starting from that point, you are going to indicate the direction. So, that point is called as centroid. That can be calculated by using the equation sum of real parts of the pole minus sum of real parts of the zeros. There are no zeros, it is 0. So in the poles, how many poles are there? 0, -1, -2, -3. All are the real values itself. So you can directly add -1, -2, -3. These 4 are the roots, or that is poles. So 0, -1, -2, -3 divided by 4. That gives -1.5. So at the point at -1.5 is the centroid. and starting from here you are indicating the direction of infinite branches. So all the infinite branches, that is 4 number of infinite branches, will be moving in these 4 directions. But particularly you will not be knowing which branch is moving in which direction. So randomly you are going to say that all the 4 branches are moving in 4 directions. That's it. Next, breakaway point. Breakaway point is, in order to find the breakaway point, you need to get the characteristic equation first. Open loop transfer function g of s into h of s is already given. Add 1 to that, that is equal to 0. So this is the obtained characteristic equation. To this, separate k term as well as s term in the left hand side as well as right hand side. Call that as a equation number 1. Next, differentiate this equation number 1 dk by ds, that gives minus 4s cube minus 18s square minus 22s minus 6 equal to 0. And if you send that to right side, it will become positive. Call that as a equation number 2. So from this equation you can obtain the roots. So from the equation number 2, obtain the roots. So the degree of the equation is 3, so I will be getting 3 roots. So among these 3 roots, we will be getting 2 valid breakaway points. And you know that the breakaway points can be checked whether it is valid or not. You can obtain root must be on the root locus. In the first step only, you are seeing that the root locus branches are 0 to minus 1 and 2 minus 2 to minus 3. There is no root locus branch between minus 1 and minus 2. So this cannot be treated as a valid breakaway point because this is between minus 1 and minus 2. It is on the non-root locus branch. But these two are valid, and also you can also check with another step not to find that the given value is a given root is a valid breakaway point or not. So first condition is satisfied with these two roots because this is between 0 and minus 1 and this is between minus 2 and minus 3. So these two are valid from the first rule. And again second rule is substitute this obtained s, substitute these roots one after the other to the equation number 1. So here in place of s you can substitute these two roots and obtain the k value. That k value must be positive if it is a valid one. So it satisfies that also. So we can consider the valid breakaway point, that is s equal to minus 0.381 and minus 2.619. Next, intersection point on imaginary axis. If it is an infinite branches, means it has to cross the imaginary axis, that is j omega axis, or you can call that as y axis, on which point the root locus branch is going to pass. That we need to find out. First, obtain the characteristic equation from the given transfer function and construct the root array. You already know how to construct the root array, starting from s power 4 to s power 0, and make arrangement of first two rows elements by making use of the coefficient of the given characteristic equation, that is 1 6 11 6 k. 1 6 11 6 k. The last term is absent, so we can put 0 in place of that. Next, 6 into 11, 66 minus 6, 60 divided by 6, that gives 10. Next, 6 into k minus 0 divided by 6 gives k. So you can put 0 in the last element. So next, now to find out the next element, 10 into 6, 60 minus 6k divided by 10. 60 minus 6k divided by 10. Next 0. Last element is k. What is the k margin? You need to find the marginal value first. So equate this whole term to 0. Now to find out the marginal k value. So 60 minus 6k will be equal to 0. 60 equal to 6k. So 60 divided by 6 is 10. So k margin is 10. And if you substitute this 10 in place of k here, the whole term will become 0. 60 minus 6 into 10, that will become 0. So the whole row is become 0. As per the second difficulty, if any row from the root array is 0, that is all the elements in any of the row are becomes 0, then you need to write the auxiliary equation by making use of the row which is just above that 0th row. So now you can write the auxiliary equation for this row. So coefficient of s square is 10. So 10 into s square. So s1 is here. This is s power 0. So 10 into s square plus k equal to 0. That is the auxiliary equation that we can get. So from this auxiliary equation we need to find the roots. Before that, substitute what is the k value. K is 10. Substitute 10. 10s square plus 10 equal to 0. 10s square equal to minus 10. S square equal to minus 1. S equal to plus or minus j. So plus or minus j is the intersection point on j omega axis. Next we can draw, and there are no complex poles or zeros in the given transfer function because all the poles, all the roots we obtained from the given transfer function are real itself, that is 0, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. No other complex roots are there, so no need to find out angle of departure as well as angle of arrival. So we can directly draw the root locus plot. So all the poles are already located in the first step itself, and the centroid is minus 1.5, and angles are also identified, that is 45 degree, 135 degree, 225 degree, 350 degree. These are just the directions. And from the intersection point on the imaginary axis we obtain plus or minus j, because the root locus is symmetric to the real axis. So we can and also there are 4 infinite branches. So for these two poles we can consider this plus j. It has to pass through this plus j only, and for these two poles you should make use of the same intersection point on imaginary axis. So it may not cross the direct imaginary axis, but it will cross the same value of j omega axis. So next, mark the breakaway points, that is minus 0.381, that is in between 0 and minus 1, and another one is minus 2.619, that is another breakaway point. So these two poles will move towards the middle, that is move towards minus 0.381, that is the breakaway point. They stop here and they are going to diverge in different two directions. There are two branches, so it has to move. One pole should move in 45 degree, another pole should move in 315 degree. Here also to minus 2.6 is a breakaway point. Starting from this breakaway point, one pole should move in 135 degree direction, another pole should move in 225 degree direction. So let us plot this. Starting from minus 381, this pole at 0, let us consider 0, the pole at 0 is moving from this breakaway point to 45 degree. Next, second branch is moving from minus 1 to 0.381, from there to 315 degree. Two branches are over. Next, third branch is moving from minus 2 to 135 degree, and the last branch, that is fourth branch, is moving from minus 3 to minus 2.6, there to 225 degree. So this is the complete root locus. So you can also denote the direction of root locus like this. They are going outwards because all the 4 branches are infinite branches.